Hey guys, welcome back to another DK podcast. It's your homegirl Joey. Guys, we are at episode number 29. This episode will be broken down into two episodes, 29.1 and 29.2. This is a recap of my homeboy OJ Macklin, the Juice Man. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Justin and
Joey.
And we want to welcome you to the DK podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And let's get to it. So, Joey, how's everything going?
Everything's going really, really good. Just been working on my house. And we started flag football today. So I'm really excited to see girls flag football season 2 or 3. I think it's 2. But yeah, everything's been good. Kids been good. Work's been good. God's been good. Everything's been good. How about yourself?
Yeah, everything's been good for me. One foot after the other. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really just work, life. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy year so far. It's going to get crazier, but God's going to see me through it. And I'm excited to see what God has for me in 2026. And it's already April. We're about to go into May, which is crazy. That means we're about to be halfway done with the year. And I'm trying to figure out what happened, to be honest with you. But yeah, we are here today to do a recap of episode 25.1 and 25.2, OJ Macklin. I know that this was a very big episode for you. It was something that you like. This is like your crown jewel outside of your own episode. And like, this is like your thriller, you know what I mean? Your MJ thriller. So let's just talk about it. Just introduce people who don't know who OJ Macklin is and why this was important for you.
OJ Macklin is Owen Macklin. He's from Lincoln, not Lorimer, but he's from Lincoln, and he is one half of the team duo, amazing trainers in the city of Pittsburgh of Club Elevation.
Yeah, Club Elevation, they're doing great work. So there's OJ and there's Clay.
Yes.
We got episodes for both of them. And
yes, we did.
We did this episode on location, which was funny because the first time around we tried to do it, it was just fun. There was an African drum festival literally next door while we're trying to record, and that didn't work. And OJ was very gracious enough to reschedule him and Clay to give us their gym to do the episode in.
Yes.
So there was a lot of things that were covered in this episode, and I understood why we did it. So one of the first things that we really got into with OJ's episode, and I thought it was cool, was just y'all relationship. So kind of talk about that a little bit more, the importance of y'all relationship.
Well, before I go into that, I want to say thank you to you because you made it happen. You got the equipment in there, you got the lighting right, the chairs together, and it just came out phenomenal.
You're welcome.
A very, very good job. An amazing production.
Thank you. I will send you the bill.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. Yeah, it was fun. I'll just say that. So yeah. But back to you and OJ.
Yes.
So that's what this is about. OJ's life. So
right.
Talk to us about that. How long has he been in your life? He's kind of like a big bro to you.
Yeah.
You know, the importance of that.
I met OJ in 2018, and it was pretty much kind of like a fluke, for real. A friend of mine's, Doris Horvin, she had a workout training schedule as like a birthday party. And yes, they do birthday parties. So if you want to go there and bring a group of your friends and families, they will work you out for your birthday. Absolutely. So anyway, so I went, and it was a great workout. And actually, Dee Dee had found out she was pregnant after that workout with her youngest son. And I loved OJ's performance that day so much that I went back and I signed up with him, and I started training with him. And we built a relationship from that training. And he is such an amazing individual, and he's so smart, and he's so articulate with his verbiage. It's just like you start to have a conversation with him, and it doesn't stop. So for about 2, maybe 3 years, I worked out with him, and then I found out that I was pregnant, and so I had to take time off. And but we still kept in touch. And not only was he, a good vibration in my life, he was also a good vibration in my daughter's life, because my oldest daughter, I would bring her to the gym with me, and he would interact with her like an uncle. And it just, he made that family dynamic. The women that were in a group with me, I think we were either five or the 6 o'clock p.m. group. uh we built a relationship to where we had some type of camaraderie outside of the gym. We would hang out, we would go and do things. And so that's just like the dynamic that they have in that atmosphere, where it's a family environment and everybody is brother sisterhood. And yeah, you see people out in the street, you're like, hey, what you know what I mean? Like, and if you haven't been there for a while, they'll still, hey, where you been? When you coming back? We miss you, whatever. And I even went from the 6 p.m. class to the 4 a.m. class, which was crazy, but we still, had that same, it was that same vibe. Like, it's the same way from 4 a.m., because that's the first class, all the way up till 7 p.m., the last class. So yeah, OJ's my guy, man, and I'll do anything for him, and I feel like vice versa for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can automatically see the chemistry, the relationship, the connection, the good vibrations, as you mentioned, even before we press record. He was very gracious. Every time I talked to him, when we had to reschedule, he was like, anything for JoJo, anything for JoJo. So I appreciate that, because not all of our guests have had that disposition. But hey, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we get it done. So
Right.
one of the first things that was really prevalent to me was how clear OJ was and self-aware about where he was, right? Where he was past tense, where he was present tense, and where he's going, right? And a big part of his story, he started talking about growing up from your side of town, in that neighborhood, and just getting caught up in the streets and doing 9 years in prison. So let's dive into that some more. So let's just talk about his Genesis story.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't know OJ when we were younger, but he was aware of me because my brother played football, and my brother was kind of somebody in the city, God rest his soul. So I was Horgrove's little sister. But OJ was big in the athletic area. He played football, and everybody knew him because he was really, really fast. He spoke on how playing football was one thing, but then, as he was becoming great in football, and the neighborhood drug dealers would, reward him with money and things like that for scoring touchdowns, or, just taking flight on somebody. He, at that moment, knew that, hey, I don't want to be a professional football player. I want to sell drugs. I want to do what they're doing, because look at all the money that they got, and I can see how, that influenced him. And it wasn't that, as soon as he got out of high school that, he jumped right into it. He actually went to school, and he tried the school thing. And I believe he said that he got in trouble for a gun or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but whatever it was, he had got in trouble for it, and it got him out of the school that he was in, which was a really good football school. And once that happened, he said that others were trying to get him to go to like a lower, you got to forgive me, I don't know like all the terms for football, but like I know what D1 is.
JUCO. Was it JUCO? There's different divisions, and there's big schools, little schools.
Right.
I can't remember either, but
I know he was at a D1.
Yeah.
And he got kicked out of the D1 for whatever it was that he did. And so I guess junior, they wanted to try to get him into junior, and he was like, no, I'm too good for that. So instead of him going to the junior and then elevating to the D1, he decided to go into the streets.
Yeah. So one of the things was the street nigga aspect versus the nigga in the street aspect. So that's part of what was talked about.
Yes.
And he talked about having an athletic scholarship, which was important. And he just really broke that down. I really want to encourage you to really dive in, because a lot of times what I've learned, and he talks about the socioeconomic um, situation in our neighborhoods, right? So you have someone like him who's talented, who has an opportunity, but because he doesn't really know how to step through those doors completely, how to, leave the hood behind, so to speak.
Right.
That challenged him and that tripped him up. One of the phrases he used is like he figured out he was like the last of the Mohicans.
Yes.
So like his generation, which I absolutely agree, because these kids now are like soft.
Absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
yeah. So he talked about that. There was some really cool stuff. He talked about organized sports.
Yes.
And the power of organized sports.
Yes.
So you just mentioned flag football for your daughter.
Yep.
Year 2 or 3. Why is it important at her age now to be involved in organized sports? Why is that important?
Structure, responsibility, being able to work as a team, knowing how to work as a team is important. If you're late for practice, you got to go run. You got to go do your laps, or you got to do push-ups, or you got to do suicides, whatever it is that, your punishment may be because you weren't on time. That gives you structure. It gives you responsibility. Learning how to lose. You know what I mean? Because life is not always about winning. There are times where you will lose. And if you don't know how to handle that loss, you'll just be out here setting fires.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
real.
I feel like organized sports, and these kids, all they do is sit in the house and play video games, or they're on their iPads, or they're on their cell phones, or they're watching something on YouTube or Instagram, or I could go on. But they need to get outside. They need to breathe fresh air. They need to go play, throw the ball around, play basketball, tag, Simon Says.
Learn what the 5-second rule is.
All of that is very important.
Yeah.
It's important to, being a child.
It is very important. So one of the things that was really, since he said it, it's just been ringing in my ears. And in my notes here, I have this, but he talked about when he went in prison, he was there for some time, and then an OG asked him 2 questions. And the questions were, who are you?
Yep.
And what does life want for you?
Right.
So he talked about how that impacted him. But through this journey, right, we're going to put the camera on you.
You could have gave me the heads up.
Yep. So that's how this works. She never knows what she's walking into.
Never.
So through this journey, what have you learned? Like specifically this year, there's been a shift in your life coming out of 25 into 26. So who are you and what does life want from you?
Well, I don't know who I am. I'm still figuring that out.
Okay.
I'm still figuring that out.
That's a very honest answer.
No, for real. I'm
Yeah.
still figuring it out because there has been a shift in dynamics at the moment. And for the longest, I've been doing the same thing continuously every day, nonstop. Mom, work, whatever. And since that shift, it's like I've had the opportunity to actually breathe and start to see things a little bit different, that certain things are not end all be all. There's a million ways to skin a cat.
Okay. All right.
And I'm learning that, and I'm seeing that, and I'm loving it, and it's making me question some things.
Okay. Cool. So you might not know who you are. Actually, you know who you are. You know who you are, but you're also figuring out who you're becoming.
Yes.
So a lot of times as a believer, I share this with people when it comes to purpose. The advantage that you have by being a daughter of God, right, a follower of Jesus, is that Scripture tells us that before you were in your mother's womb,
He knew who we were.
He knew you and he set you apart.
Yep.
So your journey is you are figuring out who God has created you to be.
Exactly.
So this season has allowed you to retrace those steps, and it's causing you to really rethink, like, oh, okay, maybe I am more than just a postal worker. Maybe I am just a mom. Maybe more than just a mom. Maybe
Right.
I really can do this entrepreneur thing. Maybe I am an executive director. So it's not that you don't know who you are. It's you are getting familiar with who God has created you to be.
I believe so.
So that's what that is. So then understanding that, what do you think life wants from you? Because it's so much more than just a check, providing
Mhm.
shelter and all those different things for your kids. So,
Mhm.
what does life want from you?
What does life want from me? Man, I don't know. I don't know what life wants from me. Um I kind of think I know what I want to give life.
Okay, talk about that. What does that mean?
So I want to give my all. Like I want to give literally blood, sweat, tears. I want to give energy. I want to give it all. I want to, you know, help others. Like I really have that. I have that urge to help, and I'm finding myself introducing myself as my nonprofit, and asking people who, like today for instance, when we were at the football game, and I see a father or a coach, or he may have been both, and he had Allegheny County Probation Office T-shirt on, and so I'm like, So I walked over to him and I introduced myself, and as Dreamcatchers, a nonprofit, and I asked them. I said, "Are you still affiliated? You have this T-shirt on. Are you still affiliated?" And he said, "Yes, but he deals with the juvenile system."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Do you deal with the children?" I said, "I deal with all aspects of the family."
Mm-hmm.
So that was. I just found myself, you know, how can I explain it? Just trying to connect to any and every avenue, because not only am I dream catchers, but I have time done as well. So I'm trying to build both these organizations, and I don't want to build them separately. I want to build them together, because one is hand into the other, and vice versa. We help each other out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just know that I want to give my all to the universe. I want to give my all to civilization. I want to give my all to Christ. I just want to give.
Okay. So, for those of us who are new, not me because you've talked to me about this off camera, but this is the first opportunity that you can talk about the work that you're doing, not with just Dreamcatchers, but Time Done. So, for
Yes.
those of us who know about Time Done, what does that mean?
So Time Done is an organization that was created in California. And Nipsey Hussle was one of the founders of this organization. And this organization is a movement. It's an ecosystem to help get legislation passed for those who have been incarcerated. Any type of boundaries or walls that have been put up for you to get housing, to get expungements, to get pardons, jobs, whatever it is. When you find yourself hitting a wall because of your background, Time Done is like the superhero, dun, 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 to the rescue, to come help you break that wall down. And whatever it takes, that they're willing to do it. So myself and a previous guest, Tracy Phillips, are the initiators for Time Done Pennsylvania. And there's some people that we also have that's in Philadelphia and in Harrisburg. And I don't know exactly what the numbers look like as far as the leaders, but I know for a fact that it's me and Tracy that's here in Pittsburgh, and I want to say it's a lady that's out in Harrisburg. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're building the chapter in Pennsylvania.
Nice. So that's what happens. You say yes to one thing, and other things begin to open up.
Absolutely, absolutely. They flew us out to a leadership training that was in Houston, Texas, and it was a very, very wonderful opportunity. I was able to meet so many great individuals, and some of the things that I was missing for Dreamcatchers, I was able to obtain, as far as like I needed someone to help me write grants and to show me where to go to retrieve the grants, because I was only aware of one organization in Pittsburgh that I could possibly get a grant from, but this guy who that's what he does nonstop. That's his contribute to Tam Dunn. So Tam Dunn has people from all different kind of backgrounds
Mm-hmm.
doing all different kind of things. And so, me and Tracy, we connected with him, and he's putting us through training to be able to write grants.
Yeah, yeah. So you're gonna probably be featuring. I know you got some content from them that you're pushing out right now.
Yes,
But in the future, hopefully, some of those people are going to be on the podcast.
absolutely.
And you'll be able to kind of connect and build with them. So let's go back to why we're here. Right, go off the rabbit trail real quick.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by to view or recap of my friend OJ Macklin. Guys, this is the first half of episode 29.1. So next week, we will have 29.2. Make sure you come back to view the second half. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Have a good weekend, and God bless.